Ladies and gentlemen, another slew of close, action-packed games yesterday, and it is time for In the Huddle, baby. Episode 69. My favorite part of the damn week is to cook it up with these fellas right here. I am Kenny C. My co-host, per usual, are the Real Lil, Zach Crow, and Cam Jones, baby. How we doing, fellas?
Listen, man. What a week. What a week. I'm sorry I had to cut in. I'm just so excited right now because we had a great week of football. Week 7, games from start to finish was unbelievable. It got to the point where, like, if somebody wanted to rob my house or intrude my house, I would have been like, yo, brother, you want to watch the game? My brother, I can pour you a glass, get your little snack, watch the game. And then after, it would have been like the Goodfellas. I would have been like, so you trying to break into my home, man? Let's say you trying to break into my house. You know what I'm saying? That's what it would have been. But we capped it off with a great Sunday night football game of the year. And listen, I'm just so excited, and I'm ready to talk about it today on In the Huddle.
Hey, man, just want to say thank you guys for having me on for episode 69. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure. Yesterday, week 7 was the best week of football that I've seen in a while. Just want to say a lot of notable games, a lot of notable losses, key injuries happened, but overall, it was a great freaking Sunday yesterday, man. But I can't wait to talk some football with you guys tonight. Let's get it.
Yeah, I think for me as a whole, just watching football this weekend, it was just great. Going all around the schedule in both college and the NFL. I'm sure you guys saw the crazy ending between Penn State and Indiana. I don't know if he was in on the 2-point conversion or not, but it was just crazy, that mayhem continued all the way to Sunday as we had some crazy games last night as well. And I'm really looking forward to talking about it with you guys today.
Fellas, let's get down to business. The first topic here is the most prevalent one to talk about, and that was the shootout that was Sunday Night Football. The Arizona Cardinals defeated the undefeated Seattle Seahawks 37-34 in overtime, leaving only the Steelers that are the last undefeated team in the league. Fellas, let's start with a takeaway from this game. Zach, kick us off.
I think for me, it would be the Arizona Cardinals defense makes them a playoff team and possibly more, and maybe even a legitimate contender in the NFC, and I'll tell you why. If you look at the NFC, there are only 3 teams, I think, that really play defense. That's Tampa Bay, Arizona, and the Rams. Besides those 3 teams, I don't really love that many defenses in the NFC.
The Bears.
And when you look at, but when you consider the quarterback as well, like I don't consider the Bears like anywhere near, the threat just because of their quarterback. But I think when you look at Arizona, I love the combination of their quarterback and their defense. And even though you're going to look at the box score last night and you say, all right, Seattle put up 34 points. How are you going to say Arizona's defense is so good? I was just so impressed with the way they forced Russell Wilson, the MVP of the league, to just make mistakes. He threw 2 interceptions in the red zone, threw the other big one in overtime to Isaiah Simmons. It was a phenomenal play, and you just don't see a player like Russell Wilson do that. You also saw Kyler Murray take a real step forward in his game. I love Kyler, but I've never seen him complete a comeback like that, even against a not-so-great defense like Seattle. And the reason why I give Arizona a legitimate shot in the NFC is, once again, they play defense. And with their quarterback, I love how well-rounded their team is.
I would say this. Zach, I think you made a good point in regards to the Cardinals' defense, because even though they gave up over 30 points, they gave up 31 points, a lot of those throws were just Russell magic. It was defended well. Patrick Peterson defended DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett well. And there was some throws that he made where Tyler Lockett had a one-handed catch and a catch in the back of the end zone where it was perfectly defended, and he was able to drag his feet in, and the arc on that ball was placed perfectly. So sometimes you can play good defense, but it's just better offense, and that's just what it was. But my biggest takeaway from this game is that it's on the other side of the football. Seattle's defense, if they have any hopes of trying to win a Super Bowl, that defense better step up, or you can kiss that Super Bowl goodbye. Because the Cardinals put up 519 yards on that defense.
Well, I just have a quick question for you. So I know why you're saying that, but for me at least, and I don't know if you're on the same way, going into the game, I kind of knew that about Seattle's defense. Is that I kind of knew already they're not very good. I think. Yeah,
I knew that too. But it's just that they made enough plays in previous games to at least get that W. They didn't make enough plays. They didn't sack the quarterback at all. They didn't sack the quarterback not one time in this game. Kyler Murray had all day to sit in that pocket, count his taxes, and throw the football, literally. So that's my biggest takeaway. When you think about the drives, Arizona drives, they had a 9-play for 75 yards and a touchdown in the quarter number 1. 6 plays for 75 yards and a touchdown in the second quarter. 12 plays for 93 yards and a touchdown in the third. And then that 14-play, 75-yard drive, bringing it within 3 in the fourth quarter. And obviously that game tying drive where they scored the touchdown. Couldn't stop a nosebleed. Seattle defense has to play better if they want to win the Super Bowl.
Oh man, Lil, Zach, couldn't agree with you guys even more. For me, my biggest takeaway was, DK Metcalf only being held to 2 catches for 23 yards yesterday. I was shocked, honestly, because the last few games he's been playing good. You feel me? But I didn't expect that Arizona secondary to slow him down yesterday, which was shocking. I mean, he could have made the game-winning touchdown in overtime, but unfortunately it got called back due to a holding penalty. But that right there was like my biggest takeaway. I just thought DK would have had a monster game against the Arizona secondary. Unfortunately, he did it.
Yeah, and I'm going to actually piggyback off of Zach's take. I honestly think that after last night, the Cardinals proved that they can not only hang tough in this division and potentially come away with it, but they can potentially be a real true contender in the NFC as a whole. And my main focal point is the fact that Kyler Murray has developed himself into a true leader. Had a complete bounce back game after last week's decent performance, but this week he blew that away. And I'm not even just looking at the stats with the 360-yard near perfect completion percentage and 3 touchdowns. I'm looking at the fact that he had 3 key drives in which he looked completely composed and poised in the pocket. First one was at the end of the half with literally like 50 seconds, able to drive them down the field and have Zane Gonzalez hit the 49-yarder. Then to force overtime in the fourth quarter, drove them down the field again. And then in overtime, even after his kicker misses the game winner, defense comes up big, obviously, with Isaiah Simmons. But again, with just about a minute in that 1-minute drill, Kyler Murray leads them down the field, works the sidelines, and they're able to hit the game winner. My takeaway is that Kyler Murray is the real deal and keeps these guys in the game every week.
I would say, too, even though I just basically tore apart that Seattle secondary, I got to give some credit to the other side now with the Cardinals, like how Zach and Kenny C's doing, because Coach Cliff Kingsbury ran a lot of good plays in that game. When you think about Isabella, his speed just takes the defense away. So basically, when he was going down the field, his speed drew the secondary in, allowing space in the open field for guys like Christian Kirk to catch, balls in a slant route and just opening up the football field. Arizona is a team that you do not want to underestimate. Kyler Murray basically outdueled Seattle in the desert, and they 2-0 against rival opponents going into a bye. Watch out.
Ooh.
Yeah, Will, before we wrap this up, one other thing I want to say about Arizona, Kyler Murray, and just the whole look of their team. Cliff Kingsbury, it's funny because Will's right in the sense that, he called a great game, I think. I really like the balance of plays he set up. I think Arizona will be fine at coach as long as Cliff Kingsbury learns how to manage the clock. If I was an Arizona Cardinal fan, I would still be furious about the way he almost cost that team the game in overtime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, literally. Definitely. And I think, as a young coach, when you experience stuff like that, I think that will come. That will come along. I think that would come along.
I guess, but that's I don't know, man.
I know. I feel you. I 100% agree.
And my one more takeaway from this game, DK Metcalf is fast, guys. Like, you just saw how he chased down Buda Baker from
What a play.
Oh, what a play.
I don't even know if Usain Bolt could have did that, but
22 miles an hour, too.
wow.
Crazy.